I think today is to introduce some, the 4 players we're going to introduce today is about, really trying to build a core group of players that, we feel good about. A group of guys that, in their 20s from an age standpoint have been accomplished big league players, guys we feel like are going to fit in well here as Padres, and guys that we feel very good about putting with with Andrew Cashner and Tyson Ross and Jed Jerko and some of the other Padre players that hopefully are gonna help build competitive teams here for the next 4 years. So I think just to introduce a couple people here as we get started. We're here to talk about obviously Justin Upton and Wil Myers, Derek Norris and Will Middlebrooks. They're accompanied here today with Kristen, Jenny, and Ashley. So I want to thank them and thank them for coming here today and welcome them to the Padres as well. As I mentioned, I think from the standpoint from a baseball side, it's a chance to add guys that we feel like are going to be impactful. Guys that we feel like are have a chance to add to what we've been doing here and a chance to take us in a different direction. All 4 guys have played in the postseason, which is where we want to be, where we want to go. They've all had that experience and hopefully add to the guys that we already have here. So we're going to take it, I think, one at a time, starting with Justin, Upton. Obviously, we made the trade with Atlanta, a few weeks ago now, and from our standpoint, it was a chance to add another big bat to the middle of our order. Justin, over the last 5-6 years, has been one of the most accomplished hitters in the National League. It's a power bat. It's a guy whose powers played in both in Arizona and Atlanta. Had an opportunity to play in the postseason, once with the D-backs, once with the Braves. But he's been amongst the league leaders in terms of home runs, extra base hits, 1 Silver Sluggers, 2-time All-Star, 27 years old. And looking forward to seeing him and Matt probably play the corners here for Buddy, this year in Petco. So, with no further ado, if we want to introduce Justin Upton.
Okay. Justin, if you'd like to say a few words, have a seat.
Well, I'm excited to be back in the division I'm familiar with, here with the Padres, and we've gotten a lot better, and I think we're going to have a very competitive team, and I'm just excited to be here.
I think next player to talk about is Derek Norris. Derek, original national draft, but I know the last few years he was a big part of Oakland's playoff teams, big part of what the A's did. It was a chance to add he's play next year at 25 years old, so a chance to add an all-star catcher. He's American League all-star last year. Had a very big year overall, big first half. I think the biggest thing with Derek, just over the years, just seeing him, watching him, scouting, talking to our group, our staff. People talked about his competitiveness, his makeup, his personality, his demeanor. It's hard to find catching. Obviously, we traded in Rene and Yasmani Grandal. We traded two quality catchers here in the last few weeks. In order to make the whole thing work, I think it was important that we were going to bring back a catcher that we felt like could be a big part of our clubs here in the next 3 or 4 years. So that's how how the pursuit with Derek Norris came about, and I think it's a chance. He's a quality receiver. He's a physical guy, and from an offensive standpoint behind the plate, I think he's going to bring value. He swings the bat well for a catcher. So I want to introduce Derek Norris.
I didn't know there was a speech, so I'll keep it short. But just want to say it's a privilege to be a part of something like this. You don't see very many teams in the recent years do things like this, and it's just a pleasure to be a part of it. I think it's something special, and it's really good to be in a warm state because I've been living in a 9-degree state right now, so I'm just enjoying the sun. So.
Next player, we'll move on to Will Middlebrooks. I think with Will, I would say Texas native. He's a very good athlete, high school player. I know our staff had a chance, and Padres staff, and back when I was with the Rangers, always talked about Will coming out of the draft. as a guy that is an athletic guy that we wanted to at that time. We're interested in drafting. I think he quickly established himself with the Red Sox as a quality prospect. Made it up to the big leagues in Fenway, and was impactful early. Obviously, I think this past year, had some injury issues and performance was down. And there's always a time and a place to go out and acquire players. And I think he was a guy that we had on our radar screen as a possible buy low type candidate. A guy that we know from an offensive and defensive standpoint. He's a good athlete, a quality defender, has power, has hit home runs in the minor leagues, has hit home runs in the big leagues. Again, has had the opportunity of playing in the postseason, winning a World Series ring with the Red Sox last year. And a guy that's going to come in and along with Solarte, who played well for us in the second half of last year, and Corey Spangenberg came up at the end of last year, will compete for the third base job for Buddy. So I want to introduce Will Middlebrooks.
All right. Well, first off, happy to be here. Obviously, changing coasts. I hear going from the East Coast to the Best Coast. So I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm ready to be here, and just the 12 hours I've been here so far, I'm already in love with it. So thanks for having me.
Last but not least, I want to introduce Will Myers. Will, I think, Will, again, a high draft pick with the Royals, quickly established himself in baseball as one of the better prospects in the game of baseball. I think, consistently, viewed as a top 10 type prospect, really, from day one in minor league baseball, was extremely productive. Obviously, was part of a big trade 2 years ago, in which he was traded for James Shields and Wade Davis, and headed over to Tampa, where he went out in 2013 and was the American League Rookie of the Year. Helped Tampa Bay get into the postseason that year as well. Last year he hurt his wrist in Fenway early in the year, and I think probably because of that, we had a chance to acquire him. Again, a player from our standpoint, can do a lot of things. He's played in the infield, tried catching in the minor leagues, played in the outfield. He's played all three outfield spots like Justin and like Matt. So I think gives Buddy some versatility. I know he's very open to playing any of the three, but especially center field. He's a good athlete, has big power, and from our standpoint, at 24 years old, look forward to having him here with the Padres for many years to come. So I want to introduce Will Myers.
I'm just excited to be here in San Diego. Just what AJ in the front office here in San Diego has done, I think San Diego's got a lot to look forward to in 2015.
Short and sweet. Nice. We're excited, no doubt, that you look at this group of young men, and I'll reiterate what AJ said about where they are in their careers, their athleticism. The look in their eye is what I like. I was down earlier in the clubhouse with Kotz and Dave Roberts, and we were talking about these four guys and, sort of the presence that they bring to our club. And again, like I said, when Matt was here a few weeks ago, the number of text messages, phone calls that I've gotten from managers, coaches, guys in the game, ex-teammates of mine, they're excited about our club, which they should be. So it's good to meet these guys in person this morning. I've spoken to all of them on the telephone. I like the fact that these guys are ready to be San Diego Padres and have a great year. I'm looking forward to you guys in 5 weeks in Arizona. We're going to get after it. We're looking forward to a great 2015. And I know that our current players, the guys who were on the club last year who are coming back, they're just as excited. Talking to Will and Cam and Jed and all our guys, Tyson, Cash, down the line. These guys are pumped about our club. So anyway, Ron, Mike, Peter, Tom, AJ, it's great having these guys in here. I know that Will's going to be here for a few days, getting used to San Diego and working with Cots. Will hit this morning. Justin has some plans this weekend. Derek's getting back to 9 degrees, but he's going to get after it. Anyway, we're excited to have this group together, and we're excited for this season.